So, I'm Charles Armstrong. I'm director of the Trampery, and for those of you who haven't encountered the Trampery before, we've been developing buildings in East London since 2009 to support all kinds of technology and creative entrepreneurs. We've got 3 buildings currently, one in Bevenden Street, one in Clerkenwell and St John Street that we developed in partnership with Mother, the communications agency, and our new baby out at London Fields, which is mainly focused on fast growth fashion businesses, and that was developed in partnership with the London College of Fashion and Hackney Community College. And we first worked with the Barbican in September last year and hosted a production called Inquirer, an immersive production that was put on by the National Theatre of Scotland, and that was at our Clerkenwell building. And after that finished, we started thinking about further opportunities to work together. And I think what immediately struck me was that this is one of the world's great cultural and arts centres, and it's only half a mile from Shoreditch and Tech City, just to the north. But culturally, it feels like much more than half a mile. And there's such an exciting opportunity to reduce that distance and to start mixing those communities together. And in looking at how we could do something with that, I was really inspired by some of the self-organisation approaches that I'd seen being used to incredible effect in the hackspace community. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the London Hackspace, which has just expanded to premises on Hackney Road, but it is a really, really amazing phenomenon. Martin, how many members are there now?
750.
750. How many were there 6 months ago?
Maybe 600.
600. And like, there's no management really, and like things just happen and get done. And I was just interested, like, could you do like a major arts project in a building like the Barbican that was organised on those kind of principles? And as far as I know, that's not something that's been widely tried before. So in January, we started with a group of 4 people who themselves represented a span from the arts, technology, and entrepreneurship. And at this point, the community is somewhere north of 300 people. And week by week, there have been people meeting, anybody who wanted to turn up, and what you're experiencing today is the result of that. So there's been no central curation, which for an arts establishment is somewhat novel. There's also been no central resourcing, and that means that every single project that is taking place during Hack the Barbican, and there are more than 100 of them over the period of August, every single project has had to operate entrepreneurially to find the skills and the materials and the equipment that they need to make their project happen. And that also is somewhat unusual for an arts project. So those 100 projects, I do stress, are not the end of the story. We are actively inviting any one of you or any people you know who would be interested to get involved, to bring extra projects, to host workshops, to come and join some of the projects that are already happening, to come to us with new ideas. We'll try to help you get them off the ground. If you've got performances you want to put on, this is a very, very open structured project. We've got an incredible amount of space. We've got the privilege to use this building until the end of August. So spread the word. The doors are open, and we'd love to meet you. So, also, another thing that's been fascinating since we arrived here and set up camp on Monday is that day by day, we're managing to disrupt piece by piece the infrastructure and systems of the building. But it was just yesterday we managed to get the foyer lighting turned off, which has completely, it felt a bit like an airport lounge before. Now it feels a little bit more relaxed. Yesterday we also got the first 2 of the plasma screens, and we've got some projects that are going to be coming up that are using those. I think today we may have some control of the tannery system, and we're just going to keep working away to see what the boundaries are. And I'm delighted to say we have incredible support from the whole team working here at the Barbican to do things that people haven't done before. So that is also part of the invitation to all of you. Think of things that you could do to disrupt normal life here at the Barbican, and you have a lot of people who are going to try and help make your ideas realities. So really, just there are too many people to thank, but I do want to single out Abby Wood and the whole technical team here at the Barbican, who have worked phenomenally hard to get all of the projects cleared and up and running. They've probably done a year's worth of normal work over the last 3 or 4 weeks. So round of applause for the tech team. I'd also like to thank Nominate Trust and Queen Mary University, who have very kindly sponsored us to support some of the core costs of the project. But most of all, I would like to thank every single person who is part of Hack the Barbican. And by and large, the people who are putting on the project are the same people who have managed the project, have helped to organise it. It's a huge effort, and many, many people have devoted a large chunk of their lives over the last few months to making this happen. But like I should say, as an entrepreneur, I've been extremely fortunate to work on some amazing projects, but Hack the Barbican is probably the single most inspiring experience I've ever had. Like, I'm here every day as much as I can be. I'll be here to the end of August, and it is just amazing to see what happens when people come together to make impossible things happen. So here's to the evening and to the rest of the month. I'd now very much like to introduce Leo Thomson, the Barbican's Director of Audience and Development, and it was really Leo who opened the door to this project happening in the first place, so thanks a lot.
The description of what's been going on, it's been phenomenal. It's such an exciting project. So, as Charles said, I'm Leo Thomson. I'm the Director of Audiences and Development here at the Barbican, which essentially means people who work with me sort of work to grow our audience and to relate to them and to make sure that we get lots of people coming in the door here. But particularly also, one of the reasons why I'm involved with this, the Barbican, is that I've been across some of the digital work that we've been doing, which of course is becoming a massive part of what we do. And we entered this partnership knowing that it would just be one huge experiment for us. And I have to say, there's so many things that have been happening over the past while that simply have never happened before here. And one of the things about this place is that we're known by our audiences and sort of trusted really for the really highly curated programme that we put on here. And everything is done for a reason, and there's an enormous amount of work goes into programming the arts and learning work that we do. And therefore, this has been one massive step outside the comfort zones of so many people working here. It's been amazing to see. They've all been incredible, but it's been such an exciting process seeing what can be done with this amazing, extraordinary building. And when we started talking about it back in January, the things that we do have these amazing, extraordinary spaces. Love them or hate them. I hope you mostly love them. And we really always want to be thinking of how we can use those better, how we can make them more exciting. Some of the things that have been done here. I mean, just thinking of the small things like the way the cloakroom's been hacked. It's just one of the most imaginative, fantastic things that has been. The Ministry of Information is hilarious. It's just wonderful. You must go and try and experience that. So the use of spaces is really important to us and what we can do with it. as Charles said, we have really on our doorstep, 10 minutes walk away, a massive sort of community of people who we really want to sort of engage with and bring in and attract to our programming, and actually sort of be part of that whole feel of our neighbourhood much more. And particularly, and this is probably the most important thing, and the way I phrase it always, it sounds a bit overly grand, but we want to actually democratise this building, because we have a substantial chance of public funding that goes into what we do here, and it's really very exciting for us to think that we can open that up and make it feel home to so many different people who actually really are right on the doorstep. So actually pulling in that distance, as you say, down from 10 minutes to feel comfortably much closer is really, really important. I hope this is one huge step on a journey for us really to become sort of some kind of home for sort of interdisciplinary sort of digital creativity, and I'm really hoping this will be a great step on that journey. Huge thanks to the collective who've made this happen. I don't know all of you by any means, but I know the most fantastic amount of work has gone into it. Massive thanks to Charles for having the spark of the idea, and also to all of our team here who've made it work. We mentioned a couple of Abby, Fiona, Jimmy from Creative Learning, Melissa and Sid. In particular, two people who particularly can't be here, Sid and Fiona, who many of you who've been working on it will know very well, and put a massive amount of hours into getting this off the ground. Really, I just hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. There's a whole load of delights in store, and that you come back over the next few weeks, and that actually, you feel that the Barbican is somewhere for you, and that's what makes this a really exciting project. So thanks very much indeed, Charles.
Thank you, Leo. Well, with that, the real part of the proceedings get underway.